Okay, so welcome to part 2 of the drop-down search box example. I just want to point out a couple of errors that I saw in the last video that I corrected. Putting a space before that and also moving the requery to outside of that if-then statement. So picked those up and made those corrections. So now what we're going to do, the next step is to fix those. We need to put events in these combo boxes so that they do what they're supposed to do. First thing we want to do is make sure those boxes are populated. So I'm going to go, for each of these, I'm going to go to the row source. Just test that real quick. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing for the city and state. So now we have a list of all the names, list of all the cities, and we have a list of all the states. Of course, they don't do anything yet, but you can see when you start typing, it fills in the rest of the box. But other than that, they don't do anything yet. So we have to put some code in there to make that happen. So I'm going to use two different events for that. I'm going to use the got focus and after update event. So let's start with the after update, since that's going to be the simplest. It goes in the after update. This is only going to be one line. Can you guess what that is? That's all you need. Because if we look at the build filter string, it says we didn't really use this before, but if this is not empty, it's going to say L name equals. So we need to start building the where. We weren't building the where clause before because there wasn't anything in there to build it from. So we're going to do the same thing for the other two. So you can see it was kind of working already when I pick. There's no Alexanders and Bozeman, I suppose. We haven't put anything in the clear buttons yet. But you can see it's functional in that when I select a state or a city, it does filter out, but it won't do more than one. If I select, there's a Cheyenne in Wyoming. So, but if there's no Helena in Wyoming, and obviously that's going to result in no results. We want to cause these. So they already filter this box here. We want them to filter each other. And that is where the got focus event comes in. Okay, so I'm going to start with declaring a now we're going to see whether whether the filter is the filter that we've been filtering. I want to see if that has something in it or if it doesn't. So this means the filter is currently empty. In which case there's no where clause. So I'll just set our SQL query to and if the filter is not empty, then we're going to apply that filter to the drop-down box. In other words, when we select name, we're going to see if there's anything in that filter or not. If there's something in that filter, then I want this got focus event to be able to filter out names from the name box that don't fit, names that don't exist in California, for example. So I'm going to start with just copying this, and I'll just make changes from there. And I just want to do one more escape, just in case there's any apostrophes in there. I'll escape that out. And then set the row source of that name filter to str_sql. So I'm going to do that same thing for the city and state. Okay, so what we were doing, again, I went through and just took what we did in name filter, copied it over to city and state, and just changed. Let me just make sure I changed the appropriate field names. State field, city field. Okay, got that. And now we can try it out in the form. And so let's start with selecting a state, my home state of Washington. Now you can see it did a little bit of a selection here. It's only taking Washington names. If we change this to Idaho, it's only taking Idaho names. It's only filtering customers or names in California. But not only that, you see what's happening in city. It's only selecting the California city names. If I empty this out, everything's back. It has all the cities, or I could find all of the, just display all the names that are in Boise. In this case, there was only one. Okay, so that's what that does. Oh, okay, you already do have this. So the clear name filter, again, what it does is it just when I press that button, it clears out the name filter combo box and rebuilds the filter string. Same thing for city, same thing for state. And of course, if I clear all, it does the same thing. So you can, at any time, I can say clear all and see that just resets everything and it goes from there. So that's the idea of building searchable list boxes that can also filter not only the list box, searchable combo boxes that can not only filter out the list box for names, but they can also filter each other out as well.